Now I have several strings of LED lighting, and these are all 12 volt. And I need a 12 volt power supply. I don't have an extra one on hand that I can use, but I do have other stuff. Number one, I have a 19.5 volt 4.7 amp. Huge. I need that amperage, and I need 12 volts. But to get 12 volts, this is a step up, step down buck converter. This will drop 19.5 volts down to the 12 volts that I'm looking for. Okay, so that's what this is. And maybe I get a better shot of it by zooming in. So the power from the power pack comes into here, and it says in, positive and negative. And then I will connect to these connectors here. Out positive, out negative. This will be my main adjustment for stepping it down to 12 volts from 19.5. Alright, so let's go ahead and hook up the power supply to this here. And to do that, I'm going to grab a couple of these. Now this is before I put it all together. This is my test. And I've already had it hooked up, but just to show you what we can do here with this. And this will connect to, if I can find the end of it, this goes into the buck step down or step up. This one happens to be step up or step down. I couldn't find my standalone step down, but this is a little heavier duty, or heavy dutier. So now we've got all of our connections made. Go ahead and plug this in. Get my multimeter, little blue light. Tells you it's on. We're going to go ahead and test it. See if I can get it out of the light. Positive, negative. And that's showing 12.12 volt. Now the cool thing about this is that you can adjust this up and down to suit your needs. I believe it's the first one here that I'm going to flat blade adjust. And if I go to the left, it goes down. And if I go to the right, it goes up. So we're going to bring this down to 12 volt. Alright, that's the power coming from 19.5. The great thing about this, and the reason I'm using it with a step down buck converter, is that the amperage on this is 4.7 amp, like I showed, because that will power a lot of LEDs, 12 volt. I mean, you can put 12 volt to an LED or a string of LEDs and it may light up, but it's not going to last long if it's low amperage. The higher the amperage a power supply has, the more bulbs you can run, which is the main purpose here. So I need a tin my little fan that I'm going to put on here, I need to tin these wires and the wires coming from the 19 volt to 12 volt. And that's the positive and the negative. So positive in, try to clean that flux off as quick as you can, because it starts hardening up and it makes it harder to get off. Sorry about the mess. And the black wire from in. Okay, everything's soldered up. Then, believe it or not, what I'd like to do is JB weld a point this little fan onto here. So that's my next step. Alright, now if you can see what I'm the buck converter and this chip here get hot. So the one I want to cool the most right now is the buck converter. And I'm going to put pads and buffed pennies so I can get the height I need to get everything to stay flat. So I want to put one pad right now in the buck converter. It's probably going to be enough. Because all I want to really do, oh crap, is make contact. And I put my first penny on there. Does that look level? You know, I say it does. I'm gonna JB weld this in place. Shoot, that's all I need. So now I'm going to hold it for a couple minutes. Now I'm going to do a twist and test. Please excuse the mess. I just overloaded with some other stuff. Alright. So now there's a little pocket here which I'm gonna, and measure it up, fit this and put my electronics on and connector. So I like to see this, especially the output voltage and amperage. So I'm going to put it on the other side, and I've scanned it, and this may be a little crazy, but I need that pocket in there to center up all my electronics, which, what the heck, it is what it is. And I can go this way, bend it in, try to find center. That's the best you can do. It is what it is. Alright, so I've got a copy of this on the other side. I'm going to copy this on this side of this. Good deal. Now I can hot glue so I have an option here to put it there or there. I think dead center would probably be the best. Well, I can see that. No problem. Now, the reason for putting this on there is it's going to insulate some of the heat away from this, so it doesn't, because this gets hot. So that way it's got an insulated base to sit on. Not only that, I have two more insulated pads to put under it for the reason of ventilation from underneath there too. Probably not going to amount to a heck of a lot, but nonetheless it will amount to something. And yeah, just push them in real good. Now, you know, the funny thing about sticky tape, if you can put sticky tape and not use it immediately, let it set, you know, for a half an hour at the minimum, and maybe even overnight, it will create a stronger bond with what it's bonding up against. And we are not going to tape these down until I get all this figured out. So when I get this figured out, you will see. Look at this. Is this not a mess? Now I'm going to go ahead and cut this output, but what I'd like to do is, in case I ever want to use it for something else again, leave a little wire on it. So I'm going to make two wraps like this, and then, well, do I use black or red? I think red, because number one, it stands out. All I got to do is get this 3 not that it's going to stay there, but maybe it will. No lost wire. Okay. Slight change of plans. You figure it out. Well, let's see if I can get this around here. Uh-oh. It's going to take two. So if I'm going now, it's time to take off the stickies. All I need is one more click. Just one. There we go. It's acceptable. It looks pretty good. Now, plug this in, and plug this in. Feel the breeze. Here we have the warm whites. And I could roll these babies out, but I think you get the picture. And let's try the blue ice. Blue ice. These really put out some light. And we'll see how warm this. Well, that's a good amount of air. That's going to work fine.